Welcome to Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. I'm so glad you joined me today. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. If you're watching this on YouTube, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you're listening to my podcast, if you wouldn't mind scrolling down and leaving a review or a comment and rating it for me, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Today I wanted to kind of wrap up the thing I talked about last week. For those of you that listened last week, I was very, very frustrated with my doctor. Not necessarily her specifically, but just not getting answers in general. And yeah, I was very disappointed, very frustrated. I waited months and months and months to get tests and results and answers, and so I was very just kind of frustrated with all of that. Well, thankfully, while I was gone on vacation last week, my doctor did call me, and she actually stayed on the phone with me for quite a while. I meant to look that up because she stayed on the phone with me for a while. Let's see how long. Does it not say how long the phone call was anymore? I guess not. Anyway, we were on the phone for at least 15-20 minutes. She explained, first she apologized for having to leave, and I understand she's, an OBGYN, and it was an emergency. I always understood that. It was just frustrating for me personally. But she called me back and talked to me at length and answered my questions. I was concerned. She was just wanting me to go ahead and stay on the progesterone. But when she gave me the phone call, she told me I had options. I can stay on the progesterone, see if that lightens my periods up any. I can, go back on the Igestin. I could have a hysterectomy if I wanted. Like, she was just telling me an IUD, which she's always kind of suggesting. I don't want that. So she gave me my options, and I told her, like, some of my symptoms were not getting better on the progesterone, and I told her, honestly, I felt a lot better on the Agestin. I was actually on, like, the knockoff norethindrone version or something, and I felt better on that. And so she said that I could totally go back on that, and that would be fine. And I asked her, because the whole reason I got off of it was because I was afraid it's not bioidentical like the progesterone I'm taking right now. And so I didn't want it to make my chances of getting breast cancer or anything like that to go up. And she said, just being a woman that lives to at least 80, you have a 1 in 8 chance of getting breast cancer just being a woman. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so she said, if you just get your mammogram every year, which I have yet to do this year, and stay on top of that, then, you should be okay. Of course, I did some Googling earlier today and because seeing if I needed to ease myself into being back on it, because I called her office today and said that's what I wanted to do. I want to go back on that. And I haven't heard back with any instructions from them yet. So I don't know if I just jump in and start taking it or what the deal is. But it was saying it can actually up the chances of several cancers. So I don't know. But that's going to be my starting point. I'm going to get back on that, see how I feel. If I'm still having a lot of the same symptoms, I showed the same results to my new regular doctor, and just so that they're both on the same page with what I'm doing. And she said, okay, that's fine. She said, but if you keep having the same symptoms, we'll check your testosterone, because that one did not get checked in the blood work. I mean, in the testing kit that I had done. So I'm excited about that. But I am not looking for bare minimum with my hormones. I want to be in an optimal range. That is what I finally got someone to help me with my thyroid hormones. And so it's what I want with my other hormones. But I'm going to have to take baby steps again, and until I can actually get to that. Honestly, I want to look into the Trim Healthy Mama ladies. They started doing a thing where you can do the hormone stuff through them. I need to look into that, but I think it's pretty pricey, and right now I just can't do that. But I might look into that in the future, because they are working with somebody that will definitely work with you to get to optimal ranges. And I'm pretty sure my new doctor would too. I just forgot to mention that today when I went and saw her. But I can see her anytime. And since I go to get my weekly semaglutide shots, I can ask her about it any week. Because that's what I want. I want to feel my best, and that is not something I've had in years. I've felt like crap for years. Ugh, it's been awful. And then I was sick for a week or more before I went on vacation. I was on antibiotics still when I was on vacation, and still had the cough, and still kind of felt like crap off and on. I was okay hanging out in the pool. Pretty much all there was to do on our vacation was, it's all my dad's side of the family, and we hang out by the pool and snack, play cornhole, chit chat and hang out and catch up. And I managed to do all that okay. I would get kind of tired and down a little bit, but I was pretty distracted, so that was okay. But yeah, and then I come home, and the day I come home, my stomach starts hurting. Like, I never got sick or anything, but like my stomach hurt. If I wasn't laying down, typically on my side, then my stomach was just hurting for days. It finally went away like yesterday evening, and so I'm thankful it went away, whatever it was. I did have a cousin that was sick, and while we were up there, he and I both thought it was something that he ate, or maybe that he was, having a few beers on an empty stomach, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So far, I'm the only one that I know of that also didn't feel good after that. So hopefully it wasn't something going around. Oh, and speaking of the semaglutide shots, officially I've lost 20 pounds. That's even on the doctor's scale. So I'm so excited about that. That means that by Christmas, I could be at goal weight if I keep going like this. And even the nurse that was going to give me the shot today, she was like, that's really impressive, because you've even stayed on the lowest dose. Like, you haven't, because I haven't gone up. I want to do it slow and steady. I want my skin and everything to be able to keep, being caught up. I don't want wrinkles or loose skin or anything like that. I am not in a race to dump this weight. I want to just lose it slow, and I don't want to, mess anything up. I do believe, I was talking to my sisters this week, I do think that maybe they think I'm cheating by doing the shots. I don't believe that at all personally because, one, the GLP-1s are something your body makes, but not all of us make it or make it in the right amounts, or our receptor sites are off. Something's going wrong. And like I've said many times, I have thyroid, I have Hashimoto's, low thyroid, and that, from what I've discovered, listening to different doctors and things, that automatically means you have a blood sugar issue. It's just not going to be an obvious, I'm not diabetic, I'm not pre-diabetic, but there's still an underlying blood sugar issue there. I mean, there's a reason why with thyroid issues, you balloon up like crazy. Like, I put on so much weight in a little amount of time when my thyroid started going crazy that it was creepy. I mean, it was just awful. And I have not been able to lose that no matter what I've done. So I don't see it as cheating. I see it as giving my body something it's needing that it hasn't been getting in the past. And obviously, because I'm actually losing the weight, I'm losing it low and steady. The side effects for me aren't bad anymore. There was a little bit of nausea at the beginning, but I've been on it since May, and this is July. So, I only had the nausea off and on for like a month and a half maybe. And even then it wasn't, she would give me nausea medicine and that would take care of it and it would be fine. I never actually got sick. So, yeah. And then I take the very gentle, if I haven't gone to the bathroom in a few days, I'll take the very gentle stool softener thing that they give you when you've first had a baby, so that it's not like hurting you or anything. I'll just take that every once in a while. And sorry, I had a message on my watch. I will just take that and then I'm good. And so for me, it's just been awesome. And I'm excited to get down to goal weight. I am going to start trying to eat better though. That was really hard when I was sick, and it was really hard earlier this week when my stomach was hurting. I couldn't even focus on cooking. But I want to start eating healthier and eating right. And so that as I'm doing that, I'm not just eating crap and losing weight. I want to actually instill good habits so that if I ever do get off of it, I'll be able to maintain the weight loss. I don't want to just gain it back. I want to have good habits. Now that the food noise is gone out of my brain, I want good habits so that maybe my body can reset itself between now and Christmas, and I can keep those things up even if I discontinue the shots. We'll see how that goes. There was another, the Trim Healthy Mama is helping with that. I've kind of trying to expand cooking out of the cookbooks, and tonight, I can actually smell it and it actually smells good. Tonight I'm making the Trim Healthy Mama slow fajitas. So you cook them in the slow cooker. And now if you're going to eat Trim Healthy Mama way, you won't eat it with a tortilla. But I'm going to, because honestly I'll probably only be able to eat one. And I have some homemade salsa that I made while we were on vacation. So we'll put that on there. That's completely healthy. And the tortillas that I buy are the refrigerated ones at Walmart. So they still have carbs, but they have way less ingredients. They don't hurt my stomach like the kind you can buy that are just on the shelf. And they taste just like homemade tortillas. So they're more delicious, and they don't hurt my stomach. It's fewer ingredients. So at least it's a little bit healthier that way. And if I'm only eating, one or two, I don't worry about it because I have to eat one plain just because I like flour tortillas. And then while I was on vacation, my sister and her husband were telling me that at Sam's, you can buy this already made and packaged butter chicken dish. And so they both work. So she said that they get it and they just heat up some naan bread and make some jasmine rice and have that for a quick dinner. And they said it's delicious. And it's an Indian dish, I believe. Well, I couldn't get to Sam's this week, but when I was looking through the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, they had a recipe called butter chicken. They just twisted the name a little bit. And so it's their healthy take on that dish. So I bought everything to make that with the jasmine rice, the naan bread, already made naan bread. I have made that homemade before with my daughter in homeschooling. So might go, give that a try again and make it homemade sometime if we like this dish. I'm hoping so. And it sounded really good. So I'm going to try that tomorrow. So 2 out of 5 meals healthy this week. So that's nice. So now the main thing I wanted to talk about today. Sorry that went a little long. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today was homeschool planners. We homeschool, and there was a planner I always used. I used for years, and that was the Mardell's Simple Planner. And I still really love that. But since we homeschool year round, we typically start in August now. And that planner goes from July to June. And that no longer works for me. I need to go from August to July. And so I've had to kind of change it up a bit. I have packed away all the simple planners that I have, so I can't show you that one today. I'll show you the one I used last year. Now, it's on the pricier side, and this year, because of all the trips we have planned and different things, puppies, we have to pay for shots and whatnot, I'm not wanting to spend the money on this particular planner this year. And that was the Erin Condren. And that's our little school name right there. That's what we named ourselves. So it has a nameplate page. It has different things you can do. I usually don't fill any of those things out. Unless I just have to. Let's see. Show you what else it has. It has some, so you could write out the different months and put what you need. I didn't end up using that last year. Now in the simple plan, and then it had some note pages. In the simple plan, it had a 2-page spread for each student, and that one was geared towards, I guess this one was geared towards homeschoolers too this year. This is their homeschool teacher planner. But the simple plan, it had a 2-page spread. No, it was multiple pages. Okay. I think it was for six different subjects, I think. You could put on the first page the student's name, the curriculum you were using for each subject, and then it had several pages for a week-by-week breakdown. So you have to do school for at least 36 weeks. And so I would break down and put, we would be going through chapters, blah, 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 for all of that. And I may, if I can find some pages in the new one I'm going to use this year, I may do that again. If anything were to ever, God forbid, happen to me, or I was out of commission and someone else, my husband or someone else had to step in for me for a while, they would just be able to turn to those pages and say, okay, they were on week whatever, because I always keep track of that at the top of what week numerically we're on when I fill out the work for the week. It just kind of helps me keep track. But they would be able to say, okay, they're on week 17. They're going to be doing this in math and this in science and they'll be able to go on from there and not be completely lost. Now also in master books, and this year when I start setting up my personal binders, the teacher binders and the student binders for my kids with master books, I'll show you all of this. I'll get them out and show you when I get it done. But they also have schedules for everything, and I check that off every week. And so it would be very easy to also go to that, and you'd see what I checked off already and what was next. So there is that. But this also gave me a glance. I could look at a glance and see what was coming up. That also helped me plan, because our histories, they don't have 36 chapters in the Master Books history, and I don't really follow that schedule perfectly, only because I started history with my kids a little later than what they suggested, and so we're kind of playing catch up with that. So I do one whole chapter a week instead of breaking it up the way they do. And so that let me know, okay, I've got so many chapters left and I need to order the next book by this date. And so it always kind of helped me to, so I do miss those pages. I hate that the Mardell one can't be adjusted by the month or even come undated so that I could date it myself. I might get back on there and just double check that they don't have an undated one, but I know the one that I used to order did not. Okay, at the beginning, before every month, they have like a monthly focus. Last year we had the fair to get ready for. Supplies needed, enrichment classes added, field trips and outings. Didn't really fill that much out. Then you have a month. Now see, Erin Condren's homeschool one is not dated, and that was kind of annoying for me to have to write the date in all the time. I get it. They were doing that because homeschoolers have different schedules, and that makes it easier. It just is. If I got an undated one this year, I would go and write all the dates in ahead of time, like as soon as I get it. I love writing and I love doing stuff like that. I don't know why I didn't do it last year with this one, but I would go back and just fill all of that in for myself ahead of time because it's kind of annoying. So yeah. And then they have the spread, and I would just write the stuff down. I do like Erin Condren because it's colorful, it's nice, it's a good quality paper. I liked all of that. I didn't really use a lot of the trackers. I used it mostly like to pick the curriculum for the next year. But they also had like an attendance tracker. There was that in the back of the simple plan too, and I would kind of they had a little calendar with the little mini calendars for the 2 years that the course went through, and I would kind of circle dates that we actually had school, double check that we were doing, the 180 days that you have to have, things like that. It had reader's logs. This one has a reading log. Didn't use that. I may end up, because our daughter is going into high school and we are going to be keeping strict track of her reading because for high school, there's certain things you have to read. And speaking of that, if you join me on Patreon, she and I will be going through. She picked The Count of Monte Cristo to read first. I think she wants to do Wuthering Heights after that. She hadn't really heard of it, and I was telling her about it the other day, and she kind of wished she could do it first, but I told her no. We're going to stick with Count of Monte Cristo. And so if you want to join us, it's $5 a month. We will have a reading plan as soon as I get her started on it. And we will do probably monthly podcast on it and discuss it and answer questions. And you can chat with us on there as well. So yeah, that's going to be fun. Or if your high schooler wants to join us, just like an extracurricular, it's just another level of, interacting and detail. I do think that having to take notes as she's going while she's reading, to have things to talk about at the end of the month when we do the video or the podcast, I think that's going to help her go a little deeper with the reading. And so I'm really excited about that. But you can pop into Patreon. It's under Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. And join us on there for that. I'm excited for that, actually. I'm excited for all of homeschooling. I mean, part of me is excited for the next couple of weeks to get the house back organized. My laundry room needs a lot of attention. I'm going to start on that this afternoon. And that needs a lot of attention. But I am excited about getting my binders done, getting their binders ready, jumping into new subjects, and doing all of that. Speaking of that, I had to order my son's geography because it wasn't finished. It just came out off the printers, I think, last month. And so I ordered that, and I will probably go into that on a video when I get it in. So look for that. It's on the Land of the Vikings or something like that. It sounded really interesting, but I'll do a video on that when it comes in. At the back of the Erin Condren one, it had a folder. Of course, they always have really great quality folders. She had a clear sheet protector, which I obviously did not use, and the wet erase back of the book. They also come with a little ruler that you can clip in. Now, last year I ordered separately this little clip in, and I used it to mark my place. So I used that a little bit, but mostly it just marked my place. I used a few of the other tabs occasionally, but mostly mine was, the month at a glance and the week we were on, because typically we're so busy that that's about all I have time to look at. But yeah, the Erin Condren one right now, of course, by the time you listen to this, the sale might be over. It might be going for one more day. They have it 25% off, which I think made it $42. I was going to try to use Erin Condren this year, but use the teacher dated planner because they do have the option of going from August to July. And I love Erin Condren. That's the one I use in my weekly planner just for myself personally. But I couldn't justify spending that much because I have to have one for me to use with my son, and then I have to have one for my daughter to use. She's in high school now, so she takes care of her own planner for the most part. Occasionally I'll fill in what she's going to do for the week, but for the most part it's her own. But to get both of those together, even with the 25% off, them plus shipping and tax was going to be like $90 something. And I was like, I can't really justify spending that much money right now. So I went on Amazon, was looking at a few. It was hard to find some that went from August to July, but I was able to find a couple. And as soon as I'm able to, I'm hoping when my husband gets home tonight and I discuss it with him, I'm hoping to get to order that. Again, I found one as an academic one for my daughter also, and it's a little cheaper even than mine, but still very cute. And the reviews on the one I picked for me actually said, one of the reviews said she's used Erin Condren before. She was a public school teacher, and she actually preferred this one that was a fraction of the cost. So I'm hoping that those work out. Now, I told my daughter, if we do get to order them and we get them in, check the feel of the paper, check how it looks, make sure it's something we can actually use before we ever write in it, just in case we need to exchange it. But when I do get the planner that I use in, I will show you guys, because it's hard to find a good one. I also looked into the Happy Planner, but they all go from July to June, and they also only had a horizontal layout, and I prefer vertical. Now, last year with this Erin Condren, I had to go horizontal, where I had the date going down the page and then the subjects were across. I don't prefer that, because then I have to have the whole big planner open to see the day go all the way across. I prefer to have the subjects down the side and the days going down, and then I can have it in half and see my whole day, what we have to do. It's just neater for me. That's how the simple plan was worked out. It's how I was used to. So I found one that I can go back to using like that. And so I'm excited about that, because it was really a pain for me doing it that way. There's obviously also digital ones. I don't like being on digital devices any more than I have to. And I am a pen and paper kind of girl. I love writing things out, and I like that. And I like having something that I can put back and save, and then I know I can pull it out and look for it. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So yeah, like I said, if you're interested in the high school literature book club on Patreon, join me there. I'm also going to be doing one on this for myself for adults. That's going to be more of a historical thing. I haven't picked my book yet. We'll be starting all of this sometime in August, only because I've been sick and busy with vacation and haven't been able to order her book and figure out what book I want to do yet. I'm finishing one up right now, so I want to start one fresh with you guys, and I hope you join me over there. Again, it'll be just $5 a month, and there'll be a reading list so you can stay on track with me if you like, and a monthly podcast. I'll probably do video with the one with just me, and yeah, that'll be exclusive. You can ask me questions for the upcoming podcasts and all of that, and discussion questions, things like that. So I'm excited about that. I always like talking about what I'm reading, and I just usually don't have anybody to talk about it with. So to me, that'll be fun. Oh, one more exciting little tidbit. On the genealogy topic, I recently realized I haven't utilized GEDmatch like I would like to. I have uploaded mine and my husband and father-in-law's kits there when we first did them, but I've done I know how to run some of the things, but I don't know how to utilize all of them in my research. So I watched a few videos, I got on there, I ran a couple of things, and I found some matches that I hadn't really seen on any of the other sites. And there was an email address, there was a wiki tree, I didn't even know what that was. And so I went down a whole rabbit trail on this match, and actually got to email the lady, and we've been emailing back and forth, and found out they're related. It's her husband that's related to my husband. They're like second cousins, twice removed, I believe, and on my husband's mom's side. And but anyway, they have a family mystery, and so I'm offering to help them. I really, 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 really hope that I get to, because I'm kind of as far as I can get for now on Walter's parentage, and I've solved that. There's still some other little things that I could figure out. I'm having a hard time with that, so I'm hoping that using GEDmatch I might be able to kind of break through some of that. But I would be more than willing to help someone else, break a brick wall, have help with family mystery, while I'm in the process of that. Sometimes I get ideas from other things like that, and then it helps me. It always helps to step back and then come back with fresh eyes. So I am excited about that, and I will keep everybody posted once I figure out what I'm doing on GEDmatch, and I find out anything interesting. I will definitely let y'all know, or let you kind of show you how you can do it also. So yeah, those are the things I'll be talking about coming up. So next week, I should have my son's geography in. I'll go over that. I should have my planners in, and I will go over that. And then very soon, I will go over my homeschool, the binder system that I use, how I put that together, and how we kind of get started. So thanks for joining me. And don't forget, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all next week. Bye. Thank you for joining me today on Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. Come back next week and I'll have a new episode for you. Bye.